Hello and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with head baseball coach John Russo. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Len, thanks for having me.
Another busy weekend last weekend for Hofstra baseball, so let's jump right in. Four-game series at Cal State University at Bakersfield. You split the four-game series. Overall, your thoughts on the four games?
It was a tough series. They were a real good opponent. They'd have wins this year against Nebraska, Southern Cal, and Fresno State. And the thing you don't take into effect is that we had a 6.5-hour flight over. We had a 2-hour, 45-minute drive through LA traffic to get down to Bakersfield, and then for us to come out and win 1-0. Shutout against their guy. Played great defense, and got another game on Saturday. And I think on Sunday we just got a little tired, and the weekend finally caught up with us. But overall, 2-2 on the weekend's a really good series for us.
You mentioned that 1-0 game, the first 1-0 shutout for a Hofstra baseball team since 2001. Three pitchers in the game. Joe Berg starts the game, goes 6 innings, only gives up 1 hit. Did struggle a little bit with the control, walked 6 batters, but he pitched in and out of trouble. And then you bring on what seems to be right now the bridge and Brett Schreiber, and then Brian Verbitsky comes on to close it out. Just can you talk about those 3 guys?
Yeah, right now, Joe, that game was really good. He had great stuff, but it was a real tight zone, which I thought was a really good zone. But, Joe was 6 walks, a hits guy. I think he put the leadoff guy 5 times out of 6 innings. And, about the 3rd inning, I said to Joe, he sit next to me, I said, hey, Joe, let's not try to put that leadoff guy too much. You've gotten away with it twice now and gotten out of it. And 4th inning, he puts the leadoff guy on, but gets out of it again. He comes in, and he said, Coach, I'm trying not to do that. And I said, listen, it's working. Let's keep doing it. And but then Brett Schreiber has been as good as anybody we've had this year. He's had great stuff, really good presence, and really bridging the gap, like you said, to Verbitsky. And Verbitsky's been as dominant as expected, and had really good stuff. And to be honest, Barbarino's been really good too in those roles. So we have something really good working with that.
You mentioned you took another game, doubleheader on Saturday. You lost the first game 7-3, but come back in the nightcap, win 6-4. Nick Kazasi gets the start. Didn't last too long, but then Dave Jesh comes on in relief and gives you 4 1/3 really solid innings. Give up 1 run, caught 4 hits. How is Jesh? He started most of last year. How's he reacted so far to coming out of the pen?
Jesh has been great. We talked about starting him, relieving him, but we feel so much that in Division I baseball, the games are won and lost in the 6th or 9th inning so much, and I feel like we have guys that can get us through 5 and get there, and Jesh is just such a valuable weapon to have. Like, Nick wasn't great to start, so then you can extend Jesh out to go 4, or you could throw Jesh twice on a weekend once, 1 inning each, and Jesh has just been throwing great, and it happened to work out this weekend that we needed him to go longer, and 4 innings, like you said, a couple hits, 1 run, and really bridged it to Barbs, and Barbs went 1 inning, and then Verbitsky again in the 9th.
Now you said obviously you brought up Andrew Barbarino. As a whole, the bullpen has been really solid through the first 8 games. Starting staff has had some good moments, had some not so great moments, so not bad, but they've been solid. But the bullpen's really been the strength so far. What's your thoughts on those guys, Cody Norman and Andrew Barbarino?
They've been everything we'd hoped for, to be honest. I think even the games we've lost, they've helped keep us right there and gave us a shot offensively to even come back. And they've been super confident, and they've been throwing strikes and really attacking. And most of their innings have been pretty easy innings. And if they can stay that way, I think we'll be a pretty good club, because we'll try to get some leads early. We had the 1-0 lead and went right to the bullpen and handed it to them, and they held it down. And I think that's something we can do a lot of. So, we're trying to play 5 or 6 inning type games to get the lead early.
As good as the pitching staff has been, offense not yet clicking on all cylinders. What are your thoughts on what's going on there?
I've yet to look at stats, and the reason for that is because I just don't want it to sway the way I think things are going. And we've battled really hard, and the pitching's just been that good, to be honest. I think it's as good as any pitching we'll see this year. We've been getting great starts from the opposing pitcher, and it's just been really tough. And it's our first 6 days out, and you're seeing upper 90s at Oklahoma, and then at Cal State Bakersfield you're seeing 88, 90 with mostly changeups and breaking balls. So 6 days out, we're seeing everybody's best stuff, and it's been a tough battle. So I think we'll take another look at it this weekend and hope get a game in next week maybe against Albany and get ready for JMU. But I think we're all right hitting wise. I'm just trying to keep their confidence up and not let them know it's not always going to be this bad.
And one guy who's been impressive statistically has been Austin Nyman. Leads the team with 344 average. Leads the team with 5 runs, 8 for 8 in steals. What have you seen from him so far this year and in comparison to last year?
The thing Nelson's done that's been great is he's stayed to who he is. I could bat him lead off, 3-hole, 6-hole. He stays attacking. He's attacking fastballs. He's getting, good counts where he gets a good pitch to hit, and he's not missing right now. And, a little bit of our offensive woes are, I haven't been able to settle in on the lineup. But to be honest, I'm going to keep messing around with it until we figure out what's the best way we can run and hit at the same time. And that's why I'm moving Austin around, and he's been great. And the problem is when I've moved other people around, they think they have to switch how they hit, and instead of just doing like Austin is, stay consistent, stay who you are, and to do that. And I've talked to the team a little bit about that this week, and I think we're a little bit more on the same page of what's being expected.
You mentioned the running game. Big part of the offense last year, continues to be a big part this year. 13-16 so far after 8 games. How has that been?
It's been good. I got to think we're leading the country in picks, and I know for sure we're probably leading the country in opposing pitchers' errors. I think it's 6 pitchers' errors against us, and so to be honest, that's like 6 more stolen bases. Some we went first to third, and we've seen every timing pick play you could possibly see, and back picks and everything. And so in the first 8 games, we've seen it pretty much all. So I think we knew what the scouting report coming in was going to be a lot of. So even if we don't get to the big total we put up last year, we're still doing as much damage with it going into weekends.
Okay, now coming up this weekend, you got a long trip. First 2 trips, they were both long, but they were both by plane. This weekend, you have a long bus trip to Cullowhee, North Carolina for a 3-game series against Western Carolina. Solid team, 4-5 right now. Good pitching staff. They seem to have a solid offense. What's the scouting report for them?
Western was a preseason 2 in the Southern Conference, just like we were picked 2 for the CAA. So it's a pretty big matchup in 2 quality leagues that are very similar. And it'll be a good chance to see where we stand. They have really good starting pitching. They're going to throw a guy on game 1 that's I think he had 13 strikeouts in his first outing, and another 9 the last outing, and then their game 2 guy's another righty who's was around last year, had really good numbers. He's 89, 93, and then another left-handed starter for Sunday. So we're going to see really good starting pitching again. It'll be nice to see some right-handers more than we've been seeing a lot of lefties. Their offense is a little bit similar to us. They had, I think it was almost 90-some stolen bases last year, and they run in any count and very aggressive, try to steal third a lot. They've got some guys that can really run in their lineup, and then they've got 3 or 4 guys that really power. So it'll be a similar type offenses. I think right now both offenses aren't clicking at this point, so they're having a little preseason troubles. But just like us, they've seen really good opponents. So it'll see what happens with the doubleheader on Saturday and the single. It's a good hitter's park. Weather's supposed to be in the low 40s with a possible chance of snow, so that's never good hitting weather, but we'll see how we can do.
Now, difference from the first 2 weekends, you had 4-game sets. This week going to a 3-game set with a doubleheader followed by a single game. How's that change your pitching plans?
We've been thinking about some. Our guys have been really good coming back-to-back days, and a lot will go off of the starters. If the starters can log their 5 or 6 innings, I think we could, really have a chance to shut anybody down. And now you'll get a chance to see, probably 2 appearances from Schreiber, 2 appearances from Barbs, 2 appearances from Verbitsky. Now will be 1 less guy. Kaz won't throw on the weekend. We'll start Berg and Tiedemann on Saturday and Rogers on Sunday. So it'll just be interesting to see. I like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday scenario because that helps our relievers out a little bit. But with it being such a far trip, we have to leave and take most of Friday to get there.
All right. Well, good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the WB Mason Coaches Report. We'll see you here next week.